Hey guys, it's Mantis from Mantis Tech Music, and today we are reviewing the SSL 360 Link channel strip plugin. Okay, today we're going to be talking about the SSL 360 Link channel strip plugin. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. This is obviously just a review, and this plugin I use on a regular basis. Like, it is awesome, and I'm so glad SSL did it. Obviously this has to be used with the SSL controllers, like the UF8 and then the UC1. I think, and it's I love my SSL controllers. I use them day in day out, and they're just fantastic. But now, instead of just using only the dedicated plugins like the channel strip 2, the 4K B, and the 4KE, now you can, with this SSL 360 Link channel strip plugin, you can use pretty much any channel strip with it. There is a bit of configuration you got to do with it to be able to get it to work, because thankfully it has a plugin loader in it, so you can load the plugin within the plugin. The thing is, you got to configure it. A lot of times it does come with a lot of stuff that's already preset, which is really freaking cool. But yeah, so I have the plugin right here loaded up, and I'm gonna load up, let's say something that plugin alliance. Like, I use, since the SSL has their channel strip 2, they have the 4K E, the 4KE, the 4KB. Here's the thing: I love the SSL J9000. That's actually a plugin alliance has a plugin, the SSL J9000, and I love the low end on it. And I can load it up right here from Plugin Alliance, and I'll have all the control on my UC1. Anyway, I have them hooked up to all the knobs, to the corresponding knobs on the actual hardware, ignoring the bus compressor on the controller for now. We're just talking about just the channel strip part. I have all the knobs all hooked up. I got the high pass filter, low pass filter. I have the whole EQ part all hooked up. I have as much as I can on the actual the compressor part and the gate part. There's some things like you're gonna run into, like, okay, like fast attack. Not everything has a fast attack. Not everything has a peak. So it's a lot of the buttons you're gonna run into issues when you're setting it up to, like, okay, you'll have that on the hardware, but you don't have it on the software. So, but you can reallocate it to pretty much anything you want. So the good thing is you can have both plugins, the plugin loaded up. Like, I can switch it over here to the configure link, and you can have this loaded up and this at the same time, and you can see which knobs go to what. In terms of configuring it and stuff, yeah, it gives you all the options right here to kind of configure it to where you what knobs you want. You don't have to use everything, of course. Some things, like some plugins won't have certain buttons that the actual hardware has, so you can always reconfigure them to something else that works for you. You just have to either load this up and kind of see what is actually allocated to what, or just remember when you're using this plugin, you know what I mean? Yeah, this button really means this for this plugin. So there's a lot of things like that. But yeah, this one, see, I love the low end on this plugin, so I'm glad that I can do this. Like, I can use the 4KE on a bunch of things, but it's like, bass guitar, I kind of want to use the low end, and I can load this up through the SSL 360 link, and I can use the low end features that I want, and still have the whole compressor section, dynamic section, EQs, and be able to do all of that. And on the hardware, see right there, I can turn the output knob on the UC1, and it affects the output on the plugin. This also adjusts the volume on the fader too, on the UF8. So you can pretty much do all the same thing like the UF8. I can still do the same thing over here. Yeah, like, this is an awesome plugin. Let me pull up another one. Sometimes you can even use it for just a simple thing, like, see, another plugin alliance plugin it's literally just a fader and a few knobs, and you can do the same thing with this one. Have it all hooked up to both the UF8 and the UC1, and I can just pretty much adjust pretty much all the knobs to where I need it to. And this plugin helps me out in so many occasions where it's like, okay, I don't want to do a whole channel strip, but I just want the fader, and I can still do it with this. Obviously it's easier to configure because it's just literally the fader and the gain and like 3 other knobs. But it really does help me out in a lot of situations where it's like I don't want to deal with all the other knobs, and I just need the characteristics of the fader. So yeah, it's been this plugin has been just a lifesaver when it comes to like when I have to use different channel strips and for different plugins, so I don't have to like, okay, I can have all the controls with all the SSL stuff, but then I have to like manually go in there and not have that level of control with the other third-party plugins. But now you can. It makes it so much easier. So okay, so that's pretty much the gist of the SSL 360 link channel strip plugin. I am so glad that they made it because it makes life so much easier when it comes to using different channel strips, and you don't feel like you're just locked to only the SSL plugins. That and then like ever since they came out with it, I was like, I hope they do the compressor section of it, and thankfully they ended up doing that because it's like, wow, if they did this, it would be awesome to do the compressor section, and they did. And the next video will be about that. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. Like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Comment below. Let me know. I'm trying to get back more into uploading videos again. So yeah, have a good one.